Hey, Andrew.
Hey.
Look, oh, you even brought some show and tell.
Yes.
So good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. And sorry for being so late. So Andrew here is the VP of Engineering at ELAC America, very well-known speaker designer, designed the Pioneer speakers that everyone talked about so much in those days and still value greatly.
Yes.
And since then, you've gone on to this company, ELAC, which is, I guess, based in Germany.
Based in Germany, northern Germany, Kiel, just close to the Danish border.
And they're like, they have, what, 90-year history or something?
90 years this year.
Yeah,
yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. Known very well for turntables back in the day.
That's what everybody over here knows them for, because that's what they used to sell over here. And then back in the 80s, when CD came along, it kind of killed their turntable business.
Yes.
So they moved into speakers by the mid-80s. And so now throughout Europe and Asia, everyone knows of them for speakers.
Yeah.
But they never really cracked this market. So that was part of the dastardly plan about bringing me in. Yeah, to try and both expand awareness for ELAC. Although it also, of course, expanded awareness for me, which I'm not complaining about.
Who would want to complain about that?
But, you know, to get awareness for ELAC, and both for the speakers that they already have, but also to set a new direction for them. You know, along the lines of what I had been doing with the Pioneer entry-level speakers, let's reinvigorate that end of the market.
Yeah.
And it's worked very well.
Yeah. Well, again, your speakers from ELAC have been seen. I guess we saw them, one of the first ones last year at this show.
That's when we launched.
Yeah,
exactly 1 year ago.
Exactly right. And so here you are again. What are you showing? What are you showing at the show this year?
So we've got the UB5s. So this is the step-up model from the debut series. The Unify. So I've gone into doing the concentric drivers, which is, of course, my first love.
Yeah.
And we've shown the UB5s at CES and at the Chicago Expo show. This is the first time at this show. But I also got the floor standard versions, which no one's heard yet.
Ah, so this is the first for this show.
Yeah, I should say, I guess I've heard them.
Yeah.
So it's not quite nobody.
You better have heard them by now. Many times, I hope.
So those I have there. So I'll swap between the two, depending on how good my back is.
Well, hopefully you can just sort of, swap cables or something. You don't have to actually. And now one of the things that really struck me last year was that you weren't using anything really expensive. You know, the source material, the cables, the little rack that you had things in.
Stand, the only thing that was expensive relatively was the Bel Canto all-in-one. And that goes
which is a
different
DAC and a
DAC preamp
amplifier
all-in-one.
Yeah.
And that varies between, I think, just short of $2,000 up to $3,500, depending on configurations that it's got. But since that time, I've played them with Yamaha integrated amplifiers and the Sprout. That's a nice combination. So they do work with affordable amplification. But what I've always been doing for myself for my demos is to try and show off just how good they can sound. So it gives you upgrade options that you don't think that you immediately have to upgrade the speakers if you're wanting to get an upgrade, that they'll always show off the capabilities of whatever electronics you put them on. So that's why I tend to show them with better electronics to give you a different idea of how you can mix and match the system.
I think you brought one. Let's take a look here.
I brought the new. This is not the Unify, but this is what we hadn't shown last year. Was the smallest entry-level speaker.
Here you can see where it's at. There it is.
Was the B5, so it's 5-inch. But of course, the Pioneer was a 4-inch. So this is now successor to the BS22.
So this is a 4-inch.
So it's a 4-inch, same cone material, the woven aramid fiber, and the same tweeter as in the rest of the debut line. Smaller cabinet, but this sounds way better than the Pioneer.
Than the one,
It costs a little more.
Yeah. What are we talking about?
$179 a pair. So now we have $179, $229, $279.
Okay. All right.
But it's a great sounding speaker.
Oh well, I can't. Are you playing it here at the show?
I might switch out at some point. Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's not my main focus. My main focus is going to be the step up line.
So you were you started kind of with the debut. You went upscale a little bit from there with the Unify.
Yes.
And now you're trying to address the real entry level end of the market.
Yes, give another option at the very entry level.
Well, I would hope it would sound better because, I mean, you've learned something since then. I mean, we all hopefully learn things as we age and do better than we did the last time around, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I mean, you've already learned by the time you get into production thinking, well, I know what I'm going to do next
what I'm
time.
going to do next time, yeah.
You just wait for that opportunity. And then, of course, we've moved into electronics as well.
Yes,
and
tell us a little bit about
that. Them, but the music server, which is here, quite a cute little thing.
Wow, look at that.
Its final livery.
Yeah.
Very small, very cute. And that's running the Rune software as the interface.
The Rune software,
yes. But the whole system is our own hardware and software for handling all the audio signals, and Rune is the graphical interface. And it's a fantastic, Rune is a fantastic interface.
Sure.
As a way of accessing your collection. But this does things like multi-zone. So you can run 3 or 4 separate streams.
To different parts of the house.
2 separate analog outs and a digital
and
out.
The Ethernet, yeah.
So you can have many people with their different tablets accessing the music from that collection independently. So it's and that's going to be all in $1,100.
$1,100. How much storage?
No storage on board. The storage on board is for the metadata. So there's 8 gigs. So that once it's accessed all your metadata, then it's
album
really
art,
fast.
that sort of thing.
Art, and just the amount of metadata you get with Rune Labs, it's astonishing. You know, you can pull up everything about the artist, their life's history, every album they've played on. As you're playing an album, you can go and look at who's playing drums. Oh, I like that drummer. Click on his name. That'll tell you every track in your collection or on Tidal that drummer is playing.
Wow.
And then you can click on it and play it, and then get the life history of that guy.
Nice.
And it goes on and
very nice.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. We call it the discovery, because it's the way
how you discover
music.
Yeah. So then you pair it with a hard disk, or?
So yes, you either plug in a hard drive into the back or a network
attached storage.
Yes.
NAS.
Yeah.
And so $1,100 and your own storage.
Yes.
Sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. Well, I can't wait to hear it. Let me ask you in the last couple minutes we have together, what I've been asking my other guests, which is your thoughts on the benefits of high resolution audio. Your speakers are, certainly on the lower end of the price point than, the Revels that I was talking to Kevin Vakes about, $20,000, $30,000. Although his new...
For right now.
Yeah. You're coming up with...
Kevin, watch out. Okay,
watch out. All right. He does have the new Concerta 2s, which are quite a bit less expensive, but still. My question always with high resolution audio is it gives you more dynamic range than a CD. It gives you more frequency response than a CD, upper end frequency response. And do you need specialized equipment in order to appreciate that? Or can you, even on inexpensive equipment, appreciate the benefit that high-res audio supposedly offers?
I think it's a matter of degree. You'll always, to appreciate everything that's even on a CD, the better the system, the better the sound you'll get, the more you'll hear into the recording. So even regular 1644 can sound fantastic, or it can sound not so good, depending on the quality of the equipment. But then on top of that, you've got the quality of the recordings.
Yes.
And like when I first started playing computer audio shows, I was one of the first with getting the Tower and the Link sound card and blowing up all my speakers every time I lost clocks. But I was always trying to get as much directly from the studios as I could of high quality music, like from Bill Schnee.
Yeah. And great engineer.
Yes, when you get those great recordings, in one way, it doesn't matter what you play it back on, because it always sound better. And that has to be the key. Do it right at the beginning, then you'll hear more of the benefits as you play it back better and better. But if you don't get it right in the beginning, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether it's digital audio or whether it's analog. The same rules apply.
Yeah.
Even with vinyl, I've got tons of vinyl that's sort of unlistenable. It doesn't mean just because it's vinyl, it's good.
Yeah.
It means it has a potential, just like any system.
Yeah.
But you've got to get it right at source.
I think your point is so well taken that really you have to start with the quality of the recording.
Yeah.
And the better the quality of the recording, the better it'll sound on any system.
Yes.
Yeah. We got one question here from Creamy Corncob. Can you have Andrew explain using foam or rubber surrounds and regular or neodymium magnets to come up with the ideal mid-range driver? Holy smokes, that's a pretty specific question, isn't it? In 1 minute or less, go.
One advantage of foam surrounds is they're very lightweight compared to even the thin rubber surrounds. So if you're going for all-out efficiency, paper cone, foam surround, can't beat that for efficiency. But longevity has always been the issue with foams. Better than they used to be, but still not necessarily perfect.
Yeah.
So everything has its application. There is no right solution. There's an appropriate solution in depending on what you want to do.
Right.
So they can still give great results within a limited bandwidth and a limited application. Neodymium, so powerful, you have the advantage that you can saturate the pole pieces much more easily than with a ceramic magnet. And that will reduce some of the flux modulation effects you get. So it can reduce the distortion products. So great for mid-range applications.
But more expensive.
But more expensive. And not, I mean, we went through a period where it's so expensive, everyone gave up using it. And now we're back to sensible prices, relatively. So all my concentric drivers in the Unify, the mid-range and the TWiT both use neodymium magnets.
Well, there you go, Creamy Corncob. Andrew, thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate it. That's Andrew Jones, VP of Engineering at ELAC America.